Hello and welcome to my podcast, Up Your Total Glow, your podcast for your body, mind and soul to support, guide and empower you to uncover your most glowing, healthiest and feel-good version of you. I am super excited that you are here because if you ask me, there's nothing that looks and feels better. In today's episode, I'm speaking with the absolutely amazing Natalie Bevans. Natalie is a Master Aesthetician and she has been so for 20 years. And she truly has seen the struggle that women go through with their skin. She has been working with anything from acne to aging to rosacea and anything in between. And she loves to educate women about their skin and to actually teach them how they themselves can understand their skin and the issues they are having with it. And this way, she is helping them to get back to that healthy, beautiful glow. This is a beautiful episode and interview, and Natalie tells about her journey, why she is so passionate about helping others with their skin. She talks about what is important for glowing, healthy skin, what you can do to really improve your skin. We dive into skin conditions such as acne and rosacea. She talks about premature aging and so if you want to learn more about your skin, then this is the episode for you. Please enjoy. Hello and welcome, dear Natalie. I am so excited to have you here today. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Ruth.
You look very well. Yeah. I am super passionate about the topic skin. Everything around skin I find super interesting and exciting because I believe it's closely related to your gut health, and gut health is closely related to how we live and what we eat. So of course I couldn't be more passionate about it, but I feel I can learn so much more. So I'm super excited to jump into this conversation with you and to learn more from the amazing you. But to start off, maybe tell us a little bit about you. So who are you? What are you passionate about? And also, why are you so passionate about this?
Very well. I have been a master esthetician for about 20 years, and I have just always loved how the body works, how that interacts with your skin and your health and everything. And my favorite thing that I do, what I specialize in, is I help women understand their skin, and so that they can kind of feel through their life as they're going and understand how their skin is and how it's trying to communicate to them and the changes it goes through. Because there's a lot of times we as women, we're taught by our moms to do something when we're in our teens, right? These products and this way to take care of our skin. And we don't continue learning about our skin. And so that's kind of, I've seen so many women in their 40s and 50s, they're still doing the same thing that their mother had taught them, which is beautiful in a way that they're listening to their moms, but it's not serving them and their skin, because our skin changes so much all the time. I mean, stresses, hormones, gut health, as you previously said, our diets, our environments, like all of these things play a role in how our skin is. And if we're not paying attention to it at all, then we don't know what to do with it. And we're just kind of repeating the same thing we've done and it's not serving you. So I love teaching women about their skin individually and just kind of seeing that light bulb go on and their confidence boost that they get, finally understanding kind of what's going on.
I love that. I love that you're talking about this communication between your body and you and all the things that are influencing the health, and through that, obviously, your skin. I think this is such an empowering approach. I love that you want to educate your clients instead of simply subscribing this cream or that cream, because that kind of keeps them in a loop of needing you. I mean, they can always
Yes.
come back to you and ask more questions, but I love this kind of empowerment. And this is how I roll too. I think it's so important if we learn, to understand how to nourish our bodies so that we can then make empowered decisions. So this is so, so juicy. I would love to know, have you always had such glowing, beautiful skin?
I actually have not. That was my first step into aesthetics, was when I was in my 20s. To me it felt like I just kind of broke out with acne everywhere. And so my cheeks were covered, my forehead, chin. And to me, with the limited understanding and limited knowledge that I had of skin, I thought it came overnight, and so I didn't know what to do. In my mind, I was thinking, why is my skin doing this to me, right? Like I had the negative view on it, like it was doing it to me. And so then my personality is to just dive in and start like researching. So that's what I did. I just started like reading all the books, and anywhere that was talking to me about skin and acne and anything, I would just kind of consume it. But I didn't know how to filter it for my skin and for my body. And so I was doing everything. And of course, I was not getting results. I wasn't getting any good results. And I was getting really, really frustrated. And it was to the point where a book had told me, because I had acne because I didn't flush out my system. So drink more water. So then I just went crazy drinking water, and I was drinking so, so much water, trying to, flush it out as the book had said. And of course, I was depleting all my electrolytes, and I was just causing a lot of more issues with it. But I think that's where I started. And so I really understand where women are coming from, where they don't know how to filter the information that we're given. And nowadays we're given information every time we turn on a screen or open a magazine or talk to a friend or a neighbor, or like any of it. All of this information is coming at us, and we don't know how to filter it for us. And so that's kind of where I come in. I really want to help you understand, like, this is a great ingredient for you, but use it this way. Or this ingredient is not good for your skin tone, or, different things like that. And so that they can understand how it works and why it's doing it, and how to work with it. And to understand that your skin is trying to serve you. It's not doing anything to you. It is trying to serve you, and it's trying to communicate to you. And so it's really important to listen.
I love that individualized approach, and also this very loving approach. So we are all different, and like you said before, things change all the time. So yes, all of this information that we are bombarded with is absolutely exciting and amazing, but like you said, if we don't know how to filter it accordingly to what we need right now, what our bodies need right now, it can do more damage than good. This is one of the things I'm also seeing in my clients all the time, with all those different ways of eating and diets, and they are trying so hard to do the right thing, and it can be really frustrating. So I totally hear and see you, but I also love this loving approach that you say, it's not that our bodies do something to us, and they are giving us information, and if we can roll with them, and then with your empowerment, with your knowledge, understand them, and have a beautiful, loving relationship with our bodies, with our skin. So I feel this is what you're creating, and I think this is really, really beautiful. Okay, so why is health so important? So how is our general health related to our skin?
So they're very related, as we kind of touched on and I touched on it. They are very, very related because your skin is an organ. It is the largest organ of your body, and it is important to take care of it just like you take care of any other organ. We spend so much time thinking about our heart health and working out for muscles and the lung capacity, like all of these organs that we individually try to take care of. But we view skin, this is very common to view skin just aesthetically, and that it's just to look nice on us, right? And that's not the case. It actually is an organ. It has a function, it has many functions and many important functions. And if your skin is not healthy, you're not giving it what it needs internally and externally, it cannot perform the functions to work properly. And so then it's not serving you at its best capacity. And in turn, you can't work with it. And then you think, oh, why is my skin doing this? Well, it's a cycle. So I think a lot of times we just need to flip the switch in our head and start thinking of our skin as an organ that it is. And then when you have a healthy organ, it will look beautiful and glowing, and that's what you want. So it's really a matter of health for the skin.
Beautifully said. And yeah, I feel that also, all this advertisement around us, they suggest, we just can apply something topically and everything will be perfect. And of course, there are lots of problems inside of us, all the topical solutions won't work. So what can we do for our skin that it really glows? What does our skin need to be healthy and glowing?
Well, I think that's a two-part answer. I always, internally and externally, you want to make sure that you're taking care of both ends of the skin. And so, internally, I have a free guide that's available to anybody, and it talks about the things that you can do, and a lot of them are internally, and some of them are not related to the skin as you would just, at first glance, you wouldn't think. One of the things I talk about in my free guide is breathing. Breathing is so important, and the proper breath and actually filling your belly and things like that, and how kind of breath puts your brain in a different state. And that is because I have you do that because stress is very related to your skin. And if you are stressed, it's going to come out in your skin. And if you have chronic stress, it's definitely going to be in your skin. And so these breathing exercises is just one of the simple things that I teach you how to do in this guide. And it will just kind of help the internal body kind of calm and come back to a state of balance, because, and really some of those hormones and that stress and stuff as well. And so that it doesn't come out in the skin. And then topically, so that there's a lot more to it than that, but that's just a quick example. And then topically, moisturizing, I think, is my number one thing. Don't forget to moisturize. And of course, each person is very individual. And so your moisturizer is going to vary very broadly. And so you're going to make sure you get the proper one for your skin and your skin type, your environment. And again, as we stated before, it's going to change as you go through your life and through months through the year. But I think those are probably the two main things: is really take care of the inside, and then really keep the outside healthy. Keep that barrier. You have a barrier on your skin, and you want to keep it healthy, and so that it can function the best way and keep it hydrated and have all those vitamins and minerals that it needs.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love this approach, that you are really going about skincare in a very holistic way. I really love that you start with breathing, because this is totally what I believe in too, or what I see in my clients as well. Gut health won't work if they keep being super stressed. I can give them the perfect diet. I can make sure the gut is healthy again. But if they continue to be all the time in a sympathetic state, and being completely stressed out, it won't work. So I love that. This is so important. This is why I'm such a huge fan of you. Yeah, okay. So let us dive a little bit deeper into what would a good moisturizer look like. So there are lots of harmful ingredients that could be in those creams and solutions. And I personally try to use only creams and products that I would also be prepared to eat. But I still find it really hard to make sure I really use the right creams and lotions. And so maybe talk us a little bit through this. What would you recommend? Which ingredients should we completely avoid? And obviously this is a tough question because, as you said, we are also different. And for example, I'm a very dry skin type. So for me, like I work with Ayurveda, I'm a Vata skin type. So always dry, always rough. So I can't moisturize enough. But for example, my teenage daughter has a very oily skin. So obviously she needs a different care. But could you talk us a little bit through this, please?
It is like you said, it's very individual, and I don't ever take the cookie cutter approach. And so when I prescribe people, when I recommend the products for them, they won't have the same products as their moms, as their sisters. You know, even a twin sister may not have the product. So it is really hard for me to say, you know, look for this product or look for this ingredient or something. And as I'm going through these recommendations for the regimen, I'm also looking very specifically at ingredients for their skin and for the situation that they are in, with, you know, all encompassing their skin tone, their skin type, their environment, all of that. So it is very hard. I can't say, you know, use this one or avoid this one. Yeah, try to get it as clean as possible. Obviously, make sure it's a reputable company. The company that I work with has an excellent line. It's such a broad line that I can prescribe any combination of any skin type, skin issue, and skin tone. I can find what I need to work with. And they are pharmaceutical grade, they're potent ingredients. So there's no fillers and all of that. They avoid anything like that they can. It's not animal tested and stuff like that. So it is hard to say across the board, use this. But as far as avoiding, one thing I for sure would avoid is fragrances. I would not, I would look for anything that is fragrance free for sure. The company that I work with is if it says fragrance, it's from a botanical or an essential oil, which is what you want, something, because you don't need that stuff in your skin. When it says fragrance, and it can have hundreds to thousands of ingredients, you have no idea what's in that, and they can cause so much irritation. And then another one that I would say is just a very general rule. This is not always 100% accurate, but look for the term non-comedogenic or non-clogging, and that can help you guide you as far as if it's going to cause clogging and congestion and stuff like that. Those are the two things that I look out for, just really general across the boards that I can, you know, the information that I can give you in this type of situation. So,
what is the company you're working with?
so the company name is called Glymet, and they are actually only sold through estheticians. And again, the reason for that is because the products are the ingredients are pharmaceutical grade, and they're very potent. So if they're used incorrectly or you know, ill-mannered or too much or something, then it can cause some damage. So because they are very potent and they can get you results.
Yeah, I can relate to that with my herbs. You know, everyone thinks, oh,
Yeah.
herbs, you know, fine, I just use 2 teaspoons. I'm like, no,
Yeah. It
no.
is medicine.
Yes, they are very potent. Don't do that. Yeah, so it's
Yes.
great that they can't even get hold of this, because I feel like
Yeah.
lots of those herbs, and well, fortunately and unfortunately, the common consumer can get hold of those herbs now, which
Yeah.
is fantastic, because it's a better way to, you know, find better sleep and more balance in your body, but only if used the right way. So this is
Yes.
fabulous. Okay, let's dive into a few common problems with skin. So what what's the problem when we have acne, or what can we do to resolve that?
That's actually also a very broad question. So acne, I mean, for the very root cause of acne is inflammation in your body, right? But there can be so many triggers. I mean, it can be stress, it can be eating habits, it can be hormones, it can be not being clean, like taking care of your skin. A lot of times that's a misconception that that is why you have acne. It's not why you have acne, but it can be a trigger for it if you are prone to acne and you're not, your hygiene isn't as clean as it should be. There's so many factors that are involved in why you're getting the types of acne. And so I know a lot of time, I mean, and so I would go into stores, whatever store I went into, and I would go to their skincare aisle, and anything that said acne, I would buy it and try it because in my head, the bottle said acne and I had acne. So 1 and 1 + equals 2, right? So it should have worked. But that's but it's not how it works at all. And so there are different acne ingredients that are used for different types of acne. And so this is where it comes back to, like understand your skin and understand what type of acne you have, what's the trigger for it, and then we can work with products and get you to a place that's a smooth, healthier, even toned skin. But it really is.
Natalie, are you still there? Oh, there you are. Okay, we've got a little bit of a not so nice connection here, but you are back. Fantastic.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
so I couldn't hear the last bit you said. I'm guessing you were saying that obviously it's a broad subject again, and that it's very individual to everyone. But if someone is really suffering from acne now, other than getting in touch with you and being educated by you, which I think you can also do online. Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do a
Fantastic.
virtual consultation.
Fantastic. And I will make sure I put all of this in the show notes. But are there just a few steps that would work for everyone? I would imagine start with the breathing. I don't know,
Yeah.
just 2 or 3 little steps so someone could already start to work on this and feel better while they are waiting to have the consultation with you.
Yeah, I go back to grab that free guide. You can get it right away. And it is for full, the full health of the skin. And it will definitely start helping your acne and kind of putting a different perspective on you. Like, what am I eating? And what does my skin need? Because it talks about the health of your skin. And so it's really important that you are taking care of it internally. And so I would make sure that you're eating a well-balanced diet, that you're not skipping on anything. You've got to get your proteins and your water. Your body is made up of protein and water. And so add that in there if you're not already, and then get a full, colorful variety of fruits and vegetables. So you're getting all those minerals and vitamins that your skin needs, but then also the fiber. You've got to get fiber. One of the functions of your skin is a detoxifying organ. And so you want to make sure that if you're not detoxifying daily through bowel movements, then the load on your skin is heavier. And so it can come out in more acne, it can come out rashes, irritations, a lot of stuff along those lines. So just in general, I would say, do your breathing, calm yourself, try to put yourself in a more calm and relaxed state, and then focus on your foods and really getting all of the colors, your proteins, your waters, and fats. Your body needs good fats as well. So it's kind of a kickstart to getting you to a healthier skin.
Beautiful. And for someone who now doesn't know, okay, what does Natalie mean with beautiful fats, good proteins? Can you just talk us through foods? So what foods would you recommend in general for glowing skin?
Mostly what I recommend is for fats. If we talk about fats, you're going to do your avocado oils, your avocados, your olive oils, your salmon, your seeds and your nuts and coconut oil, all of those things that you know are good fats because your body, and I mean down to a cellular level, you need fats in your body to communicate and all of that. And then on your skin, it helps create the lipids and what it helps helps the protective barrier on your skin. So there's a lot of reasons to add fats in it. I know a lot of times women nowadays have been a little bit scared off of fats, but as long as they're good fats, that you need them in your body. And then as far as fruits and vegetables, I would say the bigger the variety, the better. And try to eat in season as much as possible, but really just all of the colors. You don't want to stick to, if you love apples, don't eat apples every day and that's all you eat, right? You're going to eat all of the fruits and vegetables as you possibly can because they each carry different nutrients and vitamins that your skin needs as well. So the broader the diet, the better.
Totally agreed. And also, like, there's no food that, when accumulating in your body, doesn't have toxic byproducts that, if we then only focus on these foods, even if it's a healthy food, that can potentially cause harm, especially if our digestive system is a little bit sluggish or clogged up, or our lymphatic system. Yeah, so absolutely true. I would love to hear, what does your diet look like? Can you just talk us through like a normal day in Natalie's diet?
My food day. Well, I'm a foodie. I love food and I love to cook. And so I don't have, the same things every day. In the mornings, I'll usually have some eggs, maybe I like to make sourdough bread. So I'll have eggs with sourdough bread, or I'll have oatmeal with some fruit, and I like to put my collagen in there. So that's kind of morning breakfast. For lunch, I personally struggle with eating enough protein. So I know, so I try to get in some tuna or, some leftover chicken or meat from the night before. But a lot of times my favorite is like hummus with some tzatziki on a pita with tomatoes, cucumbers, cotton olives, that stuff. And then dinner, we usually do I'll do some grilled vegetables, salads, fruit salads, and then some sort of a protein, usually a steak or roast, or I'm from a farm, so a lot of cattle, a lot of beef and chicken or something like that. So that's kind of what it is on a regular basis, I guess.
Mm. And in terms of having a routine in your day, or especially maybe making time for self-care so that your stress levels don't soar so high, what does your day look like there?
I think it's important to be able to take some time for yourself. I know with personally, my skincare regimen is a little bit of that for me, just taking the time to do that. I have kids and I work and I'm running around all the time, which a lot of us are. We're always kind of crazy busy. But I feel like I've combined the necessary task of taking care of my skin with my self-care. And I am understanding kind of as I'm doing my, washing my face and doing that, I'm conscious of, massaging my skin and the fact that I'm taking care of my skin and doing all of that for me. And so little things like that. And then mentally, I think it's really important. I try to make sure that I'm reading something educational every day. That makes a difference to me. I've noticed personally, this might not be for everybody, but it kind of puts me in more of a growth mindset and kind of a moving forward, I guess I should say, moving forward mindset. And then one thing that I do, I don't have trouble sleeping, but I know that this has worked for a lot of people that have trouble sleeping. And this helps me a lot just to kind of clear my brain is before I go to sleep, I will just take some time away from everything and just let my brain run and just let it process everything and just kind of let it all out as you will. And then when I actually go down to sleep, I know that I'm not going to be thinking, oh, I need to do this. And what about this? And how did this go? And you're not processing the day. And a lot of times after we've been through something something, or we've had a busy day, we've had no time to take that time for ourselves and process it. So I think those are my few things that I do on a regular daily basis. And then of course my breathing. I'm always trying to make sure I'm conscious of my breathing before I go to sleep and then throughout the day, especially when I feel a little overwhelmed or stressed, I'll do some deep breathing as well.
I love those tips. Thank you so much, because I feel they are doable. Like sometimes self-care and those routines can sound so daunting and like, oh, I
Yes.
don't have time to fit them into my
Yeah.
busy day. I'm a mom, I've got kids, I've got a husband,
Yeah.
I'm like working, I've got my own business, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I hear it all. And I love that. These action steps, I think, are very doable. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer this, but I would love to hear, going back a little bit again. So what do you think really made the change in your skin? Obviously, you educated yourself, you then really try to understand your skin, but what did you really do that you feel made the difference in your skin?
Yeah, for me, of course, it was a matter of education and then understanding my skin, but changing my viewpoint. Like it wasn't doing it to me. It was something that it was trying to communicate to me that my body was not betraying me in any way, shape, or form. It wasn't going against me or attacking me in any way. But I think that changing your mindset and then understanding how your skin works, understanding how your body works makes a huge difference. And then you can kind of understand, especially if it's something you've had for a long time, you can kind of follow back and find the triggers. Okay, if I do this, it will trigger. If I eat this, it will trigger my acne. And so finding little things like that I was doing makes a big difference. And then understanding the hormonal fluctuation, getting that under control as well, because mine was a bit of everything. Mine was stress related, mine was hormonal, and then just not understanding how to take care of my skin. And so then it was getting a little bit worse because I didn't know, and I didn't know what products. And so just a combination of all of those things. But really, what it comes down to is I found balance. I found balance within my body, within my mindset, and within my skin.
This is what I preach. Balance. Yes. Thank you so much. I love that. Okay. And what if someone is struggling with rosacea? So this is something that I've been struggling with so much better now, but I found the advice that doctors would give me not very helpful, or I feel outdated. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'd love to hear your opinion on this. So what my doctors would tell me is that pretty much I have to let my skin dry completely out. So put nothing on the skin at all other than sun care. And I feel like I tried that for a week or two, and I thought like, no, this doesn't feel right to me at all. Um, yeah, so I tried to get lots of different advice. I finally found someone who, yeah, it's suited my skin a little bit more. She just gave me a very gentle products and just said, make actually sure it is moisturized. Yeah, but I would love to hear your opinion on this, or what do you do when someone is struggling with rosacea?
So rosacea is a condition that is, I mean, you can't cure it, as you know, but it can be managed. And then there will be triggers. And I have noticed there are some general rule triggers that will trigger your rosacea, like, alcohol, tobacco, spicy foods, exercise, things like that are vasodilators that will trigger it. But then there's also very individual triggers. And I know some people, when they go through a stressful time, it's going to flare up, and others it doesn't affect them so much. There's food triggers. Somebody can eat all the chocolate they want, and then one person has one piece and it will trigger it. So if you have rosacea, it's really important to find your individual triggers and to keep note of that, because if you Rosacea is a little bit different than, say, acne or something as far as finding your triggers. So like with rosacea, if you have a glass of wine or something, you're going to notice the right away. But whereas acne, if you eat something or do something, it's going to take a little bit of time before you notice it. So rosacea is a little easier that way, which is great, right? But definitely find your triggers. And then as far as hydration, I don't think in my entire life I've told anybody not to hydrate your skin. It doesn't matter how oily you are, how dry you are. You need to hydrate your skin. Your skin functions better when it's hydrated, and it can deal with whatever issues it's having, like the rosacea, if it's hydrated. Because what happens if you are not moisturizing and you're just letting your skin go is you can actually, so that barrier protective barrier that I was talking about earlier, it needs to be there. And if it's not there, so what it does is it keeps the good things in and the bad things out. And if it's not there, if it's broken down through dry skin or what, if you know, other means, but right now we're talking about dry skin. If it's broken down through that, you are susceptible to invaders. You are susceptible to anything on the outside. And not only that, you are losing moisture through your skin. So you cannot keep any moisture in, no matter how much fats you eat and how much water you drink, you cannot keep your moisture in. So really, really important for all skin conditions is to keep that protective barrier on your skin so it can heal and it can protect your skin.
Yeah, that sits so much better with me, with what I believe in, and also with all of my studies. It's really interesting because this was an older doctor, and he knew of my previous modeling, and he put it down to that, and it might be absolutely. I believe it's a combination of everything, you know, all the stress, obviously the lighting, and yes, the makeup and the creams that they put on me, possibly too, but I've always gone without makeup, so only when I was modeling, and I wasn't modeling for that long, so I don't know, probably also genetically prone to that. But he said it's a typical modeling thing because we have used too much product, so we have to strip off all product. Interesting approach.
Yeah.
And apparently
Never heard that approach.
yeah. So I love your approach much better. Makes so much more sense to me. Thank you for clarifying that. I will stick to what I've been doing because I feel I've been managing my rosacea very well.
Yeah.
And I love again that you say, you know, watch out for that triggers, really listen to your skin. And it's so true that it's kind of lucky because you get the feedback straight away. So you have to, you know, look at you. Okay, so am I stressed? What have I been doing differently? Or even, you know, if I'm eating something and I think, okay, that's clean, I will straight away know if it's really that clean or not.
Yeah.
So that's kind of good. Yeah. Whereas with it's much more difficult. You're very right. Okay, I know I'm stretching your time a little bit, but I would love to hear, okay, what can we do to protect ourselves against premature aging?
Premature aging is a big topic. I think it goes back to, again, I take a two-part approach to this. You've got to be doing all of the internal things and the external. And so again, internal, I'm going to say a lot of the same things as I do acne because we are trying to create healthy skin, the very healthiest it can be. And my approach to aging is not everybody gets to age. And so it's a privilege to age. We are lucky to age, and it's not a bad thing to age. And I have seen people who are 20 years old, and I would not trade their skin for the 60-year-old, right? Like the 60-year-old skin is just so much healthier and more beautiful because, you know, how they've been treating their body and their skin, as opposed to, say, the 20-year-old who hasn't been treating it well and their skin does not look healthy. And to me personally, I think the 6-year-old would, in that situation, would look better. So I think it's about health of the body internally. And again, we're going to say eat the fruits and vegetables, eat your protein, whatever food, diet, lifestyle you have for that. Just make sure you're getting good, clean proteins in there, drinking your water, and then eating your fats. Again, really important to eat your fats to help your skin function. And if you have a great internal diet, it's going to soften the skin. It's going to soften the lines. It's going to create that really healthy glow that we all want. And when you have that healthy glow, it really does take time off of your age, in my opinion, because it's healthy. And then topically, again, moisturize, moisturize. I cannot say that enough. You've got to moisturize your skin. Even if you're oily, you're just going to pick thinner ones. You're just going to pick things that are more water-based, but you've got to moisturize it. And then 80 to 90% of premature aging comes from the sun. So you want to make sure that you're protecting your skin from the sun. You're wearing a sunblock, you're wearing, sunglasses, hats, staying in the shade, doing all those things to protect your skin from the premature aging.
Yeah, beautiful advice. Thank you. What sun care, in your opinion, is best? So the minds are very split there between, the physical kind of mineral based and then the chemical based. I mean, chemical is in everything, but
Yeah.
what do you personally use or would recommend?
Actually, I use and have used both, and I recommend both. So how they work is the physical one is actually just going to block the UV rays, so it reflects them. So that's how that works. The downside of that is if you are a darker skin tone person, you will get that white cast. And then the other downside of it is it just sits on the skin. It does not absorb into the skin. And so if you touch it or brush it or, put a shirt on or something, you're wiping it off of that area. And then chemical, what it does is it actually absorbs the sun's rays and breaks it down and disperses it. But that one is absorbed into your skin. Depends on the ingredients, right, that they've used for it and how you react to it. That one is good for all skin tones. So the darker skin tone, people can use that without a gray cast to their skin. But then if you are more sensitive to sunscreens and chemicals and ingredients like that, then you would want to go to a physical ingredient. So I think for both, there's pros and cons. I think it's just a matter, again, of understanding what your skin needs and how your skin will react.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I feel you're absolutely right with, obviously you are, but with everything that you've said, because I often get told that I look so much younger than I actually am. And this is pretty much only the result to the way I live, because I love eating healthy foods and all the colors of the rainbow. I love moving my body, and obviously also have learned to breathe right. I wasn't always a nose breather, so this didn't come easy to me. And I'm a very stressy type person. So for me, this trying to, okay, calm down and it's all good is really, really vital for me. And it's the truth.
Yeah.
I believe all of this has really helped, that one, I feel so much better than in my 20s. And second, also it shows, it's just a glow. But I love, absolutely adore what you said about skin and how you feel a skin that is maybe a little bit older, because this person has already lived their life but knew how to take care of their skin is so much more beautiful. And it touched me deeply, because I had to think of my beautiful late friend who died in her early 40s, and obviously didn't have the issues. We only make them issues, unfortunately, with aging. But yes, it's such a privilege that, for example, I can age, and can experience that. How is it if, we get more wrinkles and lines and gray hair and all these things? I love that. This is so beautiful and empowering. Thank you so, so much for this. Natalie, I could chat with you forever. This is amazing. I love what you're about. So where can others find you?
They can just grab my free guide that I spoke about and start improving their skin right away and in feeling better about themselves and their skin at lp.fordhambeauty.com. And then that will get them there. And if they have questions, just reply to any of those emails. And I am right there. I can walk you through if they want to get into my course, same thing. Just reply to the email, whatever you need in there.
Amazing. And of course, I'll make sure I put all of this in the show notes. Natalie, can you please give my audience 3 golden nuggets? So I know you've given us so many golden nuggets throughout this chat, but just in really shortish sentences so that they can remember those most important things. What are the 3 most important things for you so that someone can thrive and have a glowing skin?
First, I would say that skin starts from within. So get a balanced, beautiful, healthy, whole diet. Mm-hmm. And then aging is part of life and it's a privilege, and do it gracefully and do it gratefully. And then remember to lower stress levels, and because I know sometimes the skin causes stress, how the skin looks or appears is causing people stress. Just kind of let it go a little bit. It's okay. It doesn't look as bad as you think it looks to other people. And so I think if we can kind of flip the switch and know that it's an organ trying to communicate to you, and it's not against you, it's trying to work with you and for you, it's trying to serve you, that can hopefully change your mindset of how you approach your skin and your skincare.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Natalie. What I love so much about you is that you're not only full of incredible knowledge and wisdom and experience, but I can really feel the love that you have to help others. And I think this is such a beautiful combination. So thank you so much. No, it's true. Thank you so much for taking the time to come here on my podcast and to empower my audience and others. And I really want to thank you to help making our world a healthier, happier place. One skin type, one skin at a time. Thank you so much. I'm incredibly grateful for you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Ruth. Thank you so much.
Take care. If you love and enjoy my podcast, I would be absolutely thrilled if you could help me on my mission to make our world a healthier, happier place. And you can do so by liking, subscribing to, sharing and reviewing my podcast, because this is the only way that others can find the content in this podcast too. I know that you were born to live your best life and to feel absolutely wonderful in your precious body, your brilliant mind, and your boundless soul. So what are you still waiting for? Please make sure you do. Keep glowing. I'm your biggest cheerleader. Much love.